Hiya, Matt here. Just a quick intro before the intro to say I hope you're doing well, and a quick note to say that this video was filmed a few weeks ago before this whole coronavirus lockdown pandemic thing really kicked off. This video kind of feels a bit out of place amongst the other ones, but I wanted to put it up anyway because I think it's going to be a useful one anyway. It's a nice quick recipe, fairly simple, which hopefully you'll still be able to make and get hold of the ingredients for. But I just wanted to recognise that at the moment everything's kind of a bit topsy-turvy and it might feel a little bit out of place compared to some of the other ones I've made, but I think it will still be a useful one anyway. So that was just a quick note to say, well, not a lot really, but I hope you'll find the video useful anyway. So yeah, on to the video. Hello and welcome to Big Friendly Grub. I hope you are well. Now, we've been having a lot of fun on the channel recently. Been doing things like food tastings and making giant Tunnocks tea cakes. But I thought this week we'd dial it back a bit, bring it back down to the basics, and I'll show you how to do something nice and simple. You see, this is kind of a do-over recipe for me because on my blog, not the channel, the actual blog, which you can go onto, and there's loads of other different recipes on there, as well as what you can find on the channel, because this is what Big Friendly Grub started life as. It started life as a blog and then kind of evolved into a YouTube channel as well. On there is a recipe for a pub classic, Hunter's chicken. Now, Hunter's chicken is a classic pub dish that you can get in most pubs. You'll find it on nearly every single pub menu in the country. It is chicken wrapped in bacon, covered in barbecue sauce, and then topped with cheese. It's fairly straightforward and it's absolutely delicious, and you can find it pretty much in any pub. I put a recipe up for it a couple of years ago now, and it was fairly basic, to be honest. It was a bit of a cop-out. I think for the barbecue sauce, I said just use your favourite barbecue sauce. The idea was trying to keep it simple, but to me, now it feels like a bit of a cop-out. So I want to do the recipe again, but this time I want to show you how to make a barbecue sauce with it. So enough mucking around. In fact, I haven't done any mucking around. This is very straightforward for me. I just want to get on, show you how to make the recipe and make a delicious Hunter's chicken from scratch, barbecue sauce from scratch, everything from scratch, except the cheese. Haven't got a cow, can't make that myself, but everything else, maybe not the chicken either. Oh dear, I'm mucking about now. Let's get started. Right, for our Hunter's chicken, we're going to need a barbecue sauce, and we're going to make that ourselves. And for the base of that, we're going to be using tomato ketchup. I'm using a Waitrose own brand one here. Tomato ketchup is great for making barbecue sauce because it's already got like sugars and things like that in it, which will help to make a great barbecue sauce. We're going to want about, I don't know, 6 tablespoons worth of this, which I'm going to estimate. I'm going to say about 6 squeezes is going to be a tablespoon. So 1 and 1 for luck. Remember, depending on how much of this you're going to make, you can always up the quantities of this. This is kind of a rough guide. There are loads of different ways to make barbecue sauce, but definitely start off with tomato ketchup as your base. Then we're going to want a couple of tablespoons worth of Worcester sauce, or Worcestershire sauce, however you want to call it. I've always shortened it to Worcester sauce myself. So 1, 2. That will give us that lovely dark colour that you would expect from a barbecue sauce. Then you're going to want about 2 tablespoons worth of vinegar. I'm using a white wine vinegar here. A malt vinegar will also work. Even a cider vinegar will work as well. So any of those, but I'm using white wine vinegar. Then I'm going to add in about a tablespoon's worth of hot sauce. You don't have to, but I like some kick to my barbecue sauce. I'm adding in a tablespoon's worth of hot sauce. And because we want some sweetness to our barbecue sauce, I'm adding in some light brown muscovado sugar. To be honest, dark brown sugar, light brown sugar works as well. This is the one that I had in the cupboard. This is what I'm using. So I'm going to add in probably what amounts to a couple of tablespoons worth. So 1, 2, I think that will be enough. Start mixing some of this together. Remember, this is to taste, very much to taste this. So you can always play around with the quantities. If you want it to be a bit more sour, add a bit more vinegar. If you want it sweeter, add more sugar. Always taste it as you go along. I'm using quantities that have worked for me in the past. You can see we're already getting that lovely dark colour to that. I'm also going to add in a couple of teaspoons worth of smoked paprika for that lovely smoky flavour that you get from smoked paprika. In fact, that's probably the rest of that. And also a teaspoon's worth of cayenne, again for the kick. If you don't want it that hot, then just don't use the cayenne, and stir that in as well. And then we're just going to cook this over a medium heat for a few minutes, just to kind of cook out some of the raw flavours of the spices, of the vinegar, and get ourselves a really nice barbecue sauce. So our barbecue sauce has had a few minutes just to bubble away. It's thickened up nicely. It's smelling fantastic and it's got an amazing colour on it. Look at that. And it's got a nice thickness to it as well that we'll be able to drizzle over our chicken when the time is right. So I'm just going to pop this to one side, let it cool down a bit, and then we can turn our attention to our chicken. So what we need to do with the chicken is dead simple. Got two really nice chicken breasts here, and I'm just going to wrap these in some lovely smoky, streaky bacon. Not too much, we don't want to overdo it because the bacon's salty and too much of it will make it super salty. So I'm just going to use about 3 rashers per chicken. There's one, and I'm just going to do the other one now. There you go, that is 2 chicken breasts wrapped in bacon, super simple. And I'm just going to transfer these into a baking tray. I've got this lined with foil and greased a bit because the barbecue sauce will absolutely stick to everything when it's baked in the oven. So line your baking tray unless you want to try and scrub off loads of barbecue sauce, which is very sugary and it's very difficult to scrub off. And these are going to go into the oven at about 200 degrees C for about 10 minutes just to get them going. Into the oven, 200 degrees, and we'll see those in 10 minutes. Right, our 10 minutes has passed and our chicken and bacon have had a good, well, 10 minutes in the oven just to bake up a bit, get a bit of colour onto that, and we are now ready to put over our barbecue sauce. So let's just pour that nicely over both of these. Those are covered nicely in barbecue sauce, so now we need to get over some cheese. So I'm using some nice mature cheddar here. And I'm going to finish this off by going double bubble on the cheese by using some nice Parmesan as well, just to give it a bit more depth with the cheesy flavour. That should do, because otherwise it's like at a restaurant and go, would you like some Parmesan with that? And the waiter goes, say when, and then you just keep going and going and going until they've just got down to their knuckles. And we take our chicken with a big pile of cheese on top of it into the oven again for about another 12 minutes, still on 200 degrees. It's been another 12 minutes and out comes our hunter's chicken, and oh, that smells amazing. That is the smell of cheese and barbecue sauce and a bit of bacon there as well. That smells incredible. All that cheese has melted, the barbecue sauce has mixed in with that cheese and it's gone on to the chicken and the bacon, and it just smells amazing. So I am going to get this served up, can give it a try, and that's it. That was all it takes, including making the barbecue sauce. That was so simple. So let's get this served up and eat it. I'm going to eat it. It's my dinner. Here is our hunter's chicken, all served up. There's no way I'll ever claim it's pretty food. It is pub grub. It's not supposed to be pretty. It is stick to your ribs, really good food. It's cheese, it's barbecue sauce, it's bacon, it's chicken. It's all the things that people, if you're in pubs, that's kind of the thing you expect. And it's so easy to make at home, as I've proved. And the proof is, as always, in the eating. So I'm just going to cut into this just to show that it is actually cooked properly. Lovely and cooked. And you've got lovely juicy chicken there. That is great. I've just served it with some nice homemade chips as well here. You could serve it with a bit of veg as well, but I'm going for the brown food combo today. So there we go, once again, hunter's chicken. Not the prettiest meal in the world, but it's bound to be a very tasty one. So that is it. That was really simple. That is all it takes to make hunter's chicken. It is as simple as making a barbecue sauce, which is simple as you saw. You could use one from a bottle if you wanted to make it even easier, but there's really nothing to make in your own. And this just looks really good. So I'm going to stop mucking around and just taste it now because it smells really good. Bit of the barbecue sauce, bit of cheese, bit of bacon, bit of chicken, the whole lot. It's probably going to be really hot. That's why I got a cloth under it. The plate is very hot, but let's give it a try. Oh yeah. Ooh, got a kick to it. Oh yeah. I tell you what, that is really good. That's probably the best hunter's chicken I've ever made, to be fair. Don't know why I sound surprised, but I always surprise myself when I make something nice. It's one of those self-doubt kind of things. But that is really nice. You've got a bit of sweetness to the barbecue sauce, but you've also got a kick to it from the cayenne and the hot sauce in it. And you've got the chicken, which is perfectly cooked, and you've got smokiness from the bacon. and you've got the cheese as well, because cheese. And it just all works really, really well together. That is really good. And it's really simple as well. You saw how simple that is. This video was blessedly short. I'm sure you agree. If you watch my videos, you know they're not always the briefest, but that was so simple, so easy, and so tasty. And if you can make it, make it. Something for the weekday, weekend, whenever. Just enjoy it when you feel like. And that is it. That is it for another Big Friendly Grub. Bit simpler than usual, but I think that makes a nice change. Nothing too elaborate, just really good pub grub. So that's it from me. That is it for another Big Friendly Grub. All the usual stuff. If you enjoyed this, like the video. If you enjoy what I do, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Give me suggestions of what else I can do. Are there any other pub classics you'd like to see me do? That could be a thing. I can try and make pub grub. But as it is, my arm's starting to ache from holding this, and it's just smelling really good, and I would like to eat it. So I'm going to go off, eat that, and I will see you on the next Big Friendly Grub. Bye.